Cool, so thanks for tuning in. In this video, we're going to talk about how to build team culture, how to build an awesome team culture, and we're all about culture here at National Business Capital. As you can see, we got the office decorated, we got holiday decorations out, we got stuff up on the walls, and we're always having fun, and we're trying to keep the fun in funding. So this is just one of the fun, cool things that we do here in the office. When we complete a transaction for one of the clients, the team gets a chance to shoot something at the dartboard on the wall. Those points add up to the end of the month, and then someone wins a prize. So just something fun that we do. Nice. I believe the number one factor in a company's success and their growth is culture. Culture has been something that's been amazing in our company, and I think creates an awesome work environment. I think it makes people happy, and I think from that it makes us even more productive as a company because everyone's coming to work and happy to be here. I'm going to share probably about 5 or 6 tips that have really helped, some really good things that have helped shape and mold our culture over the years. It's taken years to have an awesome and amazing culture, but once you really nail it and once you get it, it can do wonders for your company as well too. So at my company, we have a culture team, and these folks are on the culture team. This is Kayla, and this is Jill. Jill is actually our culture leader. Last year, Kayla was our culture leader. And basically, how many people would you say are on the culture team now, guys? 11 people, wow. It's creeping up there, that's awesome. So we have 11 people currently on a culture team, and that culture team is made up of, it's all different really people across the organization in a number of different departments. And in each department across the company will have 1 to 2 culture participants. What do we call them, culture mates?
Culture, I like that, yeah, culture mates.
So each department has 1 to 2 culture mates, and really, I guess what would you say, what's the job of the culture team?
I would say the job of the culture team is to keep the morale up in the office, get everyone involved in not only activities in-house, but outside in the community, to help plan different events. If someone's having a birthday, so everyone knows like, oh, it's so-and-so's birthday, let's decorate their desk, or have a mixer so all the new people that get hired get to meet everyone and learn a little bit about the culture, learn a little bit about the company, and kind of get like a head start at joining our team.
That's awesome. It's funny, the mixers that we do, like how great has that been for the new people coming into into our company that really just don't know anyone. I've seen that just do wonders, I think, for new people and getting them to, we have so many departments now in the company that you come in, there's almost 100 people or so. You don't really get to interact with people in other departments, so it's really been a way for people to interact across departments. Anything you guys want to add to that?
I think you nailed it on the head.
So Jill, how do you think culture drives performance?
I think it's one of the biggest factors in us being able to do what we do. Coming into work every day definitely gets repetitive sometimes. It's nice to be able to have a culture team that can make things a little bit exciting. I didn't even know when I started working here how much culture meant to me as an employee, and that's one of the things that drives me every day and keeps me happy at my job, is knowing that I can come in and there's people that I can talk to if I'm having a problem, or when you first start, just a friendly face to say hi to when you don't know anybody. You get introduced to every single manager, which is nice. Yeah.
All right, so how do you think culture drives performance?
I think that culture is one of the things that pushes us more to get to where we need to be here. Every day just coming in and knowing that I am going to be happy doing my job, and seeing all of these great people that I work with, I think it drives me to be a better worker, especially with our WOW card system. Mm-hmm. A really great thing to be able to give somebody a WOW card for something that they have done that somebody in a different department might not be able to see on a day-to-day basis. Having the WOW cards go off on the TVs is a great way for everybody to know, hey, Kayla did such a good job in marketing today. This is what she did, in case you didn't know, and everybody can congratulate you and knows what you did, which you don't find in a lot of places either. I think it's just really great that everybody knows what you're doing and how well you're doing it, and it pushes me to work harder that way because I want everybody to know that I'm doing a good job.
Yeah, so you brought up WOW card. Explain what a WOW card is, because I'm sure people are watching this right now and like, what the heck is a WOW card?
So all the culture leaders and managers at this point all have stacks of these cards in our drawers that have point values on them. And anytime somebody sees you going above and beyond or working really hard or doing something that you didn't necessarily have to do, but you're going out of your way to do it, they can give you a WOW card. Anybody could give it to you. You go to a culture leader, you go to a manager, and you write your message on the WOW card of what that person did and your thank you for
That's awesome.
going out of the way.
So nice recognition.
Yeah.
And then so the WOW cards too, which is really cool, is those add up for the month and then monthly. Now we've been switching up like what we're doing, but now we're doing a raffle.
Yeah, now we're doing a raffle. So once a quarter, every quarter, we're gonna get all the points added up. So the WOW cards are rated 5, 10, or 20 points, and we're gonna add up all the points, and then there's gonna be a big raffle for like a pretty decent prize.
Yeah. So we decided to switch. We were doing it monthly. Now we're doing actually quarterly because we made a decision to make the prizes wow. Now we got wow prizes. That's awesome. That should be really cool. I'm really excited to see what prize we do for next quarter. I think we'll do something cool like an Apple Watch or an iPad or maybe like a trip into the city or something like that. But we have some cool stuff in store. So great stuff. Awesome, guys. How many hours a month would you say you guys spend on the culture department?
I think that it's really hard to allocate how much time is spent on the culture a month, because I think it's something that's worked on every day, not with just me and Jill, but the whole culture team and people who see us doing like different things for the department, who want to be a part of the culture team but aren't like necessarily like a culture mate. So I think it's hard to say like, oh, we do like 10 hours a week. Because I think it's like always like, oh, so and so, this happened, they had like a rough day yesterday, like let's try to cheer them up. Or this client just had surgery, let's send them something. Like culture doesn't just have to be within house. Something that like me and Jill are like, oh, we're gonna do a fundraiser for this. It's like, oh, you know what, we should do something for Make-A-Wish or something for Feeding America.
That's great.
I think like it's hard to allocate time to something when it's kind of always in the back of our minds, like how could we be better?
I think that's actually a really cool answer and important to take note of, guys, because basically what you're saying is it's just a daily thing, and it's a part of the culture, right? And we just do it, and there's 11 people. Besides the 11 people on the team, everyone's really participating in doing good, not just here in the organization, but to the customers and going above and beyond for them. Yeah. And I think that's probably one of the biggest things we've focused on is what more can we do for our customers, and that's really great. So Kayla and Jill, what do you think some of the positive impacts that the culture teams had, here within our company, within our organization, in the business?
I think that one of the major impacts that the culture teams had on the company is that we've built a family within a company, which I don't think really happens, especially in a financing industry, because everything's like go, go, go. Yeah. And like that kind of like brought it back like, oh no, like we can still go, 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 but we're gonna go together.
Got it.
And I think that's something really special that we have here.
So it's awesome teamwork-wise and everyone kind of working as a team, not against each other.
Exactly. Like it's like, oh, someone's struggling, you know what, let me help them. Like let me see how I could show them how I do something, and maybe that will make them think, oh, I could do it that way too. It's not just necessarily like going like, oh, here's a WOW card. It's like, oh, I see that you need help, let me help you.
Got it.
I think that's really special.
Yeah, and everyone giving each other support.
Yeah.
Very cool. And what else? What do you think, Jill?
Well, to piggyback off what Kayla said, with us all being a big family here, it is very much that, just a big work family. I think it kind of like weeds out all the people that don't have that same view within our company.
So not sharing the values and the mission and the vision.
You quickly learn who, is with the team values.
Which is important to us. Yeah. So it's been wild for me to see, as an owner, how it's become like self-filtering. And sometimes people are great in the interview and slip through, and we do a pretty good job on the interview side and really look to bring in the right people into the company. But sometimes people are different once they get started, and I think it's been pretty wild to see how the culture in the organization is self-filtering people out with, and it's almost screaming to us where normally like a manager or a partner would have had to get involved. to speak up about something like that. And I think that's just happening on its own now, which is really wild to see. What advice would you have for any business owner across the country that might be trying to build culture from scratch or just getting started, with this process? What advice would you give to them with starting this?
I would give the business owner, I would tell them, really sit with your team and set the values together so everyone's in alignment and in agreement and you hear everyone's voices, because I think that's really important to let everyone have a little bit of a voice when it
That's a
comes
good
to
one.
building the mission.
And we did that.
We did.
Yeah.
And I think that because we did that as a team, that's why the foundation was so strong.
Yeah, I agree with that. Awesome. And Joe, what do you think?
I feel like really getting to know your team and your employees is a very huge aspect of what makes us such a great team. Especially you and James, getting to know all of us and what gets to motivate our team to do such a great job and what makes a happy environment for us, I think is what makes our culture work so much.
That's awesome. And that's great to hear, and thank you for that. And you bring up a good point, Jill. I think it's important that you as an owner or a leader, you participate in the culture too. Like when we're doing stuff here, we're involved. It's not like you guys are doing it and we're an exception to the rule. We're involved in it and participating as well, whether it's handing out wow cards or participating in something that's fun, or whether it's a holiday dress up or ugly sweater party, or or community stuff. This past Thanksgiving we did delivered the Thanksgiving in the boxes, and it's really cool and important that as an owner you're in it as well too. It's not just something that you create and get to stand out of. Cool. And anything else that you guys want to add on that? Anyone looking to get culture started from scratch?
Yeah, well, I think what is really important is like James and Joe, they're the president and CEO of our company, and normally you wouldn't have like a relationship where I would be able to talk to Joe on a daily basis and bring an idea for a culture event, but he's so involved with the culture and James is involved with the culture that I think that helps, build the culture up even more, that James and Joe are so involved and they're at like the Thanksgiving baskets, or we bring our ideas to them and they go, yeah, that's a great idea, let's get this started. I don't think like most companies have that, so even if you can't like make time for all the events, definitely like try to pick like a handful of 3 that like mean the most to your employees, so that you do make sure you make an effort to be part of the culture. I think that's really important.
So we believe that your company culture will probably be one of the most predictors of your success. We're all about hiring slowly and ensuring that we're bringing the right people into our company, into our culture. I have a saying, if I can't hang out with you at a barbecue, then you probably can't work here. And it sounds silly, but if someone is great at whatever it is that they do, but they're really difficult or create issues or problems, just rub people the wrong way, we don't, it's just not gonna work here. So I gotta be able to hang out with you at a barbecue. Over the years, I think we've had to make some short-term sacrifices in order to protect the culture and protect the values of the company in order for some really awesome long-term gains. And I think us sticking to that and really protecting the culture and protecting our values has really made it has really contributed to, I think, our success as a company and organization, and also provided an amazing place for all of us to come to work to every day. So I just want to leave off with, I thank you guys for making our culture what it is. You guys have been a big part of it, and it's awesome to really, to see it, start from nothing to come where it is today. I really encourage you to figure out how to get culture started in your company, and just get started with it. Just do it. I recommended the book before. I'll recommend it again. There's a book called Delivering Happiness. Definitely read it if you want to know more about culture. It's really helped us. Delivering Happiness has been here at our office. They came in. They've done workshops with us. We scored a 98%, I think, on employee happiness, which was amazing. So it's really important. It's been a game changer. We have 100 people here, and everyone's happy to come to work every day, which is really amazing. So get started on culture.